Jokic wins his third MVP. Can the Knicks actually win the East? And did the Boston Celtics just lose the series?
This is episode 6 of the Let's Talk Ball podcast. Let's dive right into it.
Let's go. Let's start with Jokic MVP. There's a very small company of players that have won 3 MVPs. They're basically all legends, Hall of Famers. I think obviously Jokic is going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. But you guys think that Jokic should win MVP this year?
I don't know how I feel about it. I've been seeing posts about, what does MVP really mean?
All right, so MVP to you, like, what is the MVP? I know it's obviously most valuable player, but like it could be
to the team.
Yeah, to the team, to the league,
solo,
best player. I don't know. To me, like when I think of MVP, it's best player on best team. Like that should be, in my opinion, MVP or best player on best team in the conference. Like I think my MVP was Shea this year. I think Shea should have won MVP.
Tom, what about you?
My MVP was honestly Luka.
Luka?
Yeah. Carried them to top 5 seed, averaged almost 34 points.
Almost like a triple-double, too.
Yeah, with like 8 rebounds, 8 assists. There's nothing much you can do better than that to help out your team.
Absolutely.
So mine was Luka, but I see it why Jokic won.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably just because they gave it to Jokic, I'm going to just say it should have been Jokic, but
wow.
I'm just like the commissioner. I'm mad biased, but
I mean, I don't think it's right to not give it to him because he's won it before. Like if his dominance continues to reign, like you have to reward what he's doing. I just think like for me, Shea's on the number 1 team in the West, averaging 38 and 8. Like what else can he do? I mean, if Jokic is playing better than him, right? Then give it to Jokic. For me, I think it was between Luka, Shea, and Jokic. I don't think they could have went wrong. Like I'm not mad that they gave it to Jokic, but my MVP was Shea. Did anybody hear what Shaq said?
No.
Yeah, like to Jokic's face.
Shaq went on like TNT.
Oh, okay. So you thought he should have been Shea?
And told Jokic right to his face that it should have been Shea. I don't know how I feel about it. I woke up this morning to Shannon Sharp going off on Shaq, and then Shaq is like going back on Shannon Sharp. They're
like
know.
Kendrick and Drake now. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I guess so. So let us know down in the comments, by the way, and subscribe if you guys are new to the podcast. Let us know in the comments if you guys think Jokic should win MVP. We want to go over the comments in the next video, so make sure you comment. You go straight to the Knicks. I feel like that was nice and short and sweet.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to the Knicks. I'm a Knicks hater, so I don't want to dive into it because can someone else cover? Maybe are the Knicks gonna win the East? Blah blah blah.
I don't know if the Knicks are gonna win the East, but I know they're gonna win their series against the Pacers. I don't know what else the Knicks have to do to show Cam that they're a real team. I mean, at what point does Cam say, like, at what point does Cam man up and just admit that this Knicks team is a good team?
Well, when they're playing 8-on-5, it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy when they're playing 8-on-5.
Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Bro, for me, like last game, okay, what I am going to say is I give credit to Josh Hart. Like, he is not, like, even close. Like, I don't think Josh Hart will ever be an all-star. And if he, like, maybe he'll, like, I genuinely don't think he'll ever be an all-star. Obviously, right?
No, I don't think so.
But he's playing like he's the number 2 option on his team, playing all 48 minutes or however long they play for the last 4 games, and the guy averages more rebounds than any other player in the playoffs. Like Tibbs is getting him. DiVincenzo's averaging 26.5 points per game. Like I think they're playing great ball, but they're getting fucking lucky game after game. Bro, they haven't won a playoff game by more than they haven't won a playoff game by more than 10 points.
It's not luck.
They haven't won a playoff. If they run into the Celtics, they're only going to win 1 game. They have not. The Knicks have not won a playoff game by more than 10 points. They're carried by Jalen Brunson night in and night out. Jalen Brunson has yet been guarded by a B+ defender, and this, I don't know. I think they're going to beat Indiana, and I honestly think it might be a sweep. I just don't think Indiana is playing the level of basketball they played against Milwaukee.
That's not fucking New York's
No,
fault.
I'm not saying that. New York is a better team. New York is the second best team in the East.
I got
in
the
my
Knicks
opinion.
in 5.
Obviously, Knicks in 5. That's probably what I would say. I would say Knicks in 5 or sweep.
Yeah. I mean,
but I just think they can night in and night out. They continuously, like the Pacers. I hate blaming it on the refs. You should never blame it on the refs because there's 48 minutes of a basketball game, and only so many times. You know what I mean? But the Pacers sent in 79 missed calls to the NBA, which in my opinion is a little excessive. But
dude, the refs miss calls every night. and then it doesn't matter.
Right? No, it shouldn't.
I bet Missoula's at the Garden right now saying, "Oh, they missed so much calls against them." Or he probably does that same thing every night.
No, he doesn't because
probably not because you guys got blown the hell out. But
It's true.
Yeah, that's true because the Knicks don't blow both teams out. The Knicks don't. They don't.
Still.
I don't think the Knicks have a chance to win the East. I really don't. I think there's not even a chance.
I don't know who's gonna win the East, but the finals for the East is gonna be Knicks, and then hopefully the Celtics. If you guys can get past the Cavs, I mean,
I don't know.
Donovan Mitchell.
This is what everyone does.
Yep.
This kid Cam jinxes the Celtics every year.
Bro, I said we're gonna lose 2 games. That's one.
No, he said undefeated. Did he not?
You said we weren't losing our game
No,
the rest of the
no,
playoffs
and then-
right after the Heat series.
And
then-
Tom was like, "Yo, Cam, stop."
And
You
then
do this every year."
Jeff T came out and said Boston's gonna only lose 2, and I put him on, bro. I put him on. All right, let's go right into the Celtics. What is up with the Boston Celtics in Game 2? I'm gonna kick it to Tom because we're both Celtics fans. So what's up with the Boston Celtics and not winning Game 2 at home?
They're so predictable.
Yep.
We played like crap in the first half,
Mhm.
and when it's a close game in the first half, we're gonna lose the game.
Yep.
That's what it is. It was basically a repeat of the Game 2 of
Yep.
Miami
Yep.
series. I mean, the Cavs turned into the 2017 Warriors in the second half. We turned into the 2024 Charlotte Hornets.
Yep.
So that's basically what happened. Tatum only took like 3 shots in the second half. That can't happen. Brown went 0 for 6 from 3. That can't happen. Derek White 3 for 11 from the field. That can't happen.
Yeah, last time I checked, it was like halftime, and he was 1 for 7 from 3. I don't know how many threes he ended up with.
We went 1 for 17 to finish out the half. So that's why we lost, I would say. And the Cavs just couldn't miss. Donovan Mitchell, props to him, couldn't miss.
Yeah.
But
Mobley played great offensively
Mobley
last night
was
too.
like
24 points.
I saw him
Especially in the
talking.
first game. I was at the first game, and Mobley was struggling, like absolutely struggling. Like Luke Cornett was handling Evan Mobley, and I didn't watch the game last night. I actually had a coach. I literally couldn't. I didn't watch a second of the game. I was pretty mad. But the halftime updates, we were like tied at half or down at half.
So we tied at half.
Then I look at the third quarter, we're down by 12, and then all of a sudden there's 5 minutes left and we're down by 20. And I'm like, what happened? So I was hoping today on the podcast, Tom, give me the rundown. Give me the rundown. That's perfect. Justin, what do you think about this series? Do you think that Cleveland can take one at home?
Well, Cleveland is undefeated at home. They're 4-0 at home.
Yeah, against the Orlando Magic.
Against the Magic. Against a young Magic team. I don't know. I think maybe they snag one game.
So then it's a best of 3 after Cleveland.
Yeah, but I don't think. I feel like if I'm Boston, Tatum, Brown, White, and all those guys, Holiday, they should set a fire under their ass, bro. I mean,
well, that's what happened.
There's so much expectation. It's like the same thing that happened with
Well,
Miami.
like, I don't know if anyone saw what Tatum said yesterday in the post-game comments. He said
I
that
would want to go over this too.
everyone thinks that we're supposed to win every game. Everyone thinks that we're supposed to win every game by 25.
No, he said
They're gonna lose some games.
He said everybody acts like we're a super team, but they didn't have the MVP. They didn't have 2 All-Stars. They only had 2 All-Stars. They didn't have the Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sports. Like we watch sports because it's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, they're heavily favored to win the whole thing. Like they're heavily favored. It's literally they're plus 100 to win the NBA Finals, which is crazy in my opinion, because it's so hard to win a championship in any sport, especially in a best of 7 series. You never know what's gonna happen. But yeah, Cleveland hasn't lost at home. We haven't lost on the road.
Thing is, though,
in Miami.
I was just gonna say we lost game 2 to the Heat. Obviously, a much different team than the Miami Heat. Obviously, we're going to a much different place than Miami. But we've always been known to bounce back.
Yep.
So game 3 should be fun.
Yeah. Game 3 should be fun. That's a great word for that.
I bet Jason Tatum has 40 points. I'm calling it. Come back to this pod.
I hope so, dude, because there's a lot of freaking guys out there right now that are super recency biased. Like, I don't know if half of the people who are in the comments of everything just watch the playoffs. Like, I don't know if like they just tune on the NBA during the playoffs, but the recency bias right now towards Anthony Edwards is crazy.
That is true. Like the comparisons he's getting is crazy. Who they're saying he's better than is crazy, but you cannot negate what he's been doing.
Yeah,
he actually
still good,
has
but
been crazy.
I like him. Don't compare him to Jordan, though.
Yeah.
But even he said that himself. He said, "Yo, stop
Yeah.
comparing me to
Yeah.
Jordan.
No,
I'm not Jordan."
He's being humble about it, which I like. And I just think that if Tatum has one bounce back game, keep that same energy. Everybody who's saying right now that Tatum can't get it done in the playoffs, keep that same energy in June when we are raising the championship. Because I heavily believe in this team. It's my team. How can I not believe in this team? I believe that if we can get by Cleveland, again, I said if. I don't want to jinx nothing. We get Porzingis back in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Finally.
Draymond Green yesterday on his podcast said that the Atlanta Hawks made the Eastern Conference Finals, Portland Trailblazers made the Eastern Conference Finals, and now the Knicks are going to make the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're all fluke teams. Draymond Green said that in the next 15 years, the Knicks will never make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Draymond, I agree with you, brother. This is a fluke season. The New York Knicks are having a Cinderella run, and I cannot wait for the Celtics to beat the living shit out of the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I hope I can go to one of those fucking games because I cannot wait.
I don't think it's a fluke year for the Knicks, but I do think. I was talking to Steven.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Steven.
He's one of our buddies. Is a diehard Knicks fan. I was talking to Steven, and we were talking about like what happens when Randall comes back, bro. Do you think that team is gonna like mesh with Julius Randle?
I think that team's better without Julius Randle.
That's what he said. He said they do a lot.
I think that team's way better without Julius Randle.
Trade him?
Yeah, Randle.
Yeah, he'll get traded this year.
Want to know what Randle gonna be?
What?
Miami Heat.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Have fun there.
Jimmy Butler.
Take all of Jimmy Butler's shots.
We're gonna finish off the pod with Jimmy Butler. We weren't gonna go over it, but I want to go over this a little bit because there's a little bit of, I don't know, there's a little bit of commotion in Miami. So the Celtics send the Heat packing, whatever, a hospitalized Heat packing, whatever. Jimmy Butler comes out and says if he was playing, not only would the Knicks not be where they are, I don't know how that even
would
translate,
work, but
stupid to say.
And the Celtics would be home. Pat Riley comes out and says if you're not on the court, you shouldn't be saying shit.
Yeah.
Now, this is Pat Riley, who, if he can trade Shaquille O'Neal, I think he'll trade anybody. So, I don't know. Jimmy Butler has no place in saying anything at that point because, I don't think if it mattered if he played. I would have been a little scared because of the past, but I don't think it mattered if he played. And why are you saying shit when, your team just got shit on, like completely shit on after they won game 2, and he didn't even play?
Well, I do think it would have been the same outcome.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were in Butler's shoes, bro, probably hurt, and you were trying to, like, he's just trying to back his team. So I get, like, we've all played sports growing up. So I kind of get it.
Let me ask you a question. What has Jimmy Butler done in the NBA?
No, nothing. Cam, did you see what Cam sent the other day? Cam sent
I'll put it up on the screen right now. So there's there's player A and player B. I'll let you guys, if you're watching the pod right now, I'll let you guys look at it for a second. Pause the video. Which player would you rather have, player A, player B? I'm gonna answer it in 3.
Oh, this is the one you said you were gonna do.
2, 1. Player A is Klay Thompson. Now, granted, he played with a lot of great players.
Still.
But look at the resume compared to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler looks like a fucking bum compared to Klay Thompson. Like, what Jimmy, like, I don't know. It's just multiple years of not winning of not being an all-star, then showing up the playoffs and doing whatever. Like, just making noise in the playoffs. But in 25 years, like, when we have kids, like, they'll be like, oh,
Jimmy Butler.
Who's Jimmy Butler? And I'm like,
oh, the guy that sold coffee in the bubble. That's how it will be.
I think that's a great way to finish off the pod. We got a pod today, and then we have a pod next week. Make sure to continue to show support to the pod. We really appreciate it. It's growing, and we couldn't do it without you guys. Anything else we want to say? I think that we have a great weekend of basketball coming up. So the next pod is gonna be it's gonna be a little dicey because there's gonna be a lot of what ifs, and we'll know a lot more than we know right now.
And I got the Knicks in 4. I just want to get it off my chest.
All right, subscribe to the pod, like Pat Bev said. Peace.